I should buy my missus a cloak for her pilum. She does not play this game. And she has heard me rant and rave enough about the company that she would never play this game. Never in a million years. In fact, she brought up a very interesting question that we were having the other day. And she's like, maybe you should ask the people on your stream this week this question. So here it is, question to you. What is it about this game that interested you enough to start playing it? And what is it about this game that makes you keep playing it? Because week after week, we, seem to keep running into more of these, more bugs and glitches in the game, more pay-to-win type events, and it just gets frustrating for a lot of players. And they keep just, typing away angrily in Discord and, in message comments on YouTube and Twitch streams. And it's like, well, what keeps you playing this game? Why don't you just say, F it, I'm done, I'm out, and walk away? So, though that's the topic I'm posing to you guys out there. What made you start playing this game, and why do you keep playing it? GP Factor says the community. The community is great. The people involved in the game, for the most part, the people in your alliance and things like that, there's a great camaraderie there. The thought process, of course, is well, couldn't the 50 or 60 of you all just go play a different game together, a game that's better, that like the company actually doesn't charge you hundreds or thousands of dollars a month to play, for sure. And it's kind of like herding cats in that aspect. If you trying to get people to all agree on a different game to go do something different. Major Samo says, interested because Star Trek nerd. I think that's the thematic content, the intellectual property of Star Trek. Certainly what hooks a lot of people, makes them come into the game, for sure. Continue because of the people you met through it and because you're competitive. You'd like to be at the top strategy efficiency of your ops levels. There's certainly plenty of room for that competition and stuff there as well. The leaderboards and the various things where you can sort of measure yourself against people, the PvP battles, the territory takeovers, those kinds of things, the incursions are certainly good ways to be competitive against other players, for sure. Norwich says, your brother got you started. The community keeps you playing. Okay. Time to go. That finished up our event. Awesome. Lube says, Star Trek brought me here. Obviously, the flawless gameplay and implementation experience keeps me here. Absolutely. Italia, one part is the fact that some of us have put a little bit of money into the game and it would feel like a waste if you quit halfway through. I think that is certainly a thing too. If people, you don't spend through like the first 20, 15, 20 levels a little bit, and then you start buying little things here and there, and then you kind of want to see how far you can go with it. And then, you're like a year or two into the game and you're like, well, I've spent a little bit of money on it. Do I want to just flush all that down the toilet, essentially, and just walk away? So certainly there's that commitment. You've invested time, you've invested money into the game, and that's kind of what keeps you hanging around there with your, enjoying your investment or protecting your investment, for sure. Belair says, you're a big Star Trek fan, that's why you joined, but the community and content creators like me are reasons. Also, I can't wait to smack the crap out of those who hit me relentlessly when I started the game. Spite and payback is always a good thing, for sure. You keep growing, get to the point where now suddenly, you can have some more competitive fights with those people. And, I've got a list. I'm sure a lot of other players out there have lists of people who, tried to take advantage of them when they were a younger player or a lower level player. And really press their level advantage. And if you've managed to catch up to some of those people or surpass some of those people, it's nice to put the shoe on the other foot and, give them a little kick in the butt. Definitely the content creators. Yep, for sure. People agreeing with Bel Air. I believe, yes, you can do it. Absolutely. Absolutely. So, yeah, I thought it was a good question when she asked it, and that's kind of some of the same answers that I think of and I said too. So, but I was just curious to know what else you guys had going on. Other thoughts and what particular aspects, like if there was a similar game but it wasn't Star Trek based, if it was just, Space Wars, I don't know. Would it still have the same feel to it, or does it really need the IP behind it to sort of be the driving force? Those are battleships. Those are veterans. I don't want to fight veterans. Is it Terminus I have to go to then? Are there regular ones here? Yes, these are regulars. Okay, so let's go here. Hurt. We've got the wrong guy below deck still. Yep. Okay. Lube, you aren't a gamer at all. You've played 3 games properly in your life. Simpsons tapped out, then Clash of Clans, then this. Just like to have something I can play without having to be fully focused and just tap away. Sure. This game used to not have as big of a time commitment. It's certainly creeping up there as they add more content and more loops and things and resources you have to mine and harvest and different, things you have to kill over and over again to get materials to turn in. That does keep adding a little more time to it, but it's certainly not as time intensive as, you know, uh, EverQuest was back in the day, or World of Warcraft, was and probably still is. I retired from that game about 10 years ago or so, probably a little more than that by now. Um, but yeah, I mean, you the constant dungeon raiding and doing the high end missions and things like that. You'd be spending, 5-6 hours a night. It'd be like Tuesday night, the servers reset, all the dungeon bosses are reset, and it'd be like, great, 7 o'clock we're raiding, and it was like you'd raid till 12, 1 o'clock in the morning on a Tuesday night. And they're like, all right, now I got to go to work on Wednesday. And that just totally that was your Tuesday. And then it's like, oh, well, we didn't finish it. So we'll come back again on Wednesday night and we'll go try and get the last boss or last 2 bosses or whatever. And you go for another couple of hours. And some of that stuff can really just add up. And obviously it's a PC game, so you're kind of stuck there in front of the computer for it. Plus then all the time you're putting in, during the day, trying to level up your characters and get new weapons and armor and skills and things like that. So I can certainly understand time commitments being a concern for a lot of people. Samuel, you guys just love the Trek. Yep. For sure. Talia asked, how long have I been playing? So I've been playing since April of 2020. I've been playing almost as long as COVID has been a thing. Essentially, all my real life hobbies, distractions were all shut down, and it was like, well, I need something new to play to keep myself occupied. and this game had been recommended to me. Like, it kept popping up in like Facebook or in the Play Store. Every time I'd go into it looking for something, it would always keep throwing this game up there. Like, hey, you might like this. Hey, you might like this. And I do a lot. I'm a big, obviously, I enjoy Star Trek as a show and the movies and things like that very much. I'm also very involved with Star Wars. There was a Star Wars games that I played over the years. Um, so seeing a Star Trek based game, I decided to give it a shot and check it out. My main account, which I'm not on right now, which is this one back here, is Ops 46. And then earlier this year, I restarted a new account in April to celebrate my 2-year anniversary with the game. I started a new account, kind of went back through, created a new video tutorial series. So far, I'm up through Ops 1 through 33 in that series, which I did in 6 months. Went 1 to 34 in 6 months, and didn't spend a dollar to do it. Because obviously you can get there a lot faster if you're spending money. You can get there in a week if you're spending money. It just all depends how much you're spending, right? So, Belair, I gave you an idea, huh? Have my wife ask a question for each stream. That could be a new content feature. That could be a new content feature. You're right. It'd be her question of the week, or something like that. I like it.